Hey guys, it's Juzzy Evo X, and today we're back having a look at a new part I've purchased for my car. And a part doesn't actually go into the car, it's a part that I've bought because from time to time if I don't drive my car, I find that after 2 to 3 days, the battery that I've got in my car, which is the Odyssey PC680 MJT, is not keeping its charge. And so of course, what I then have to do is spend the time to undo the battery, and I remove it from the car and I charge it. Now, so I've got a charger which I've had for somewhere around 5 or more years, and it's just, I don't actually like to charge batteries whilst they're in the car. I know that some people like to do that, but I don't. So I remove it, it takes time, makes you hot, sweaty, it's annoying. So I had a look at what options there were available, and of course on the market you can either consider jump charging, which you don't want to do, or you can carry one of these in your car or just have it at home, because most of the time if you're not driving for a few days your car's going to be home anyway. And I came across this Noco Boost Plus GB40 12 volt 1000 amp battery jump starter. So this is an unbox for this item. As you can see, when it arrives, the packaging looks like this. It's a lithium jump starter. I purchased this for approximately 200 Australian dollars from my local Super Cheap Auto. It's a special order item and it's arrived today. So here we go for the first unbox. So, Noco Boost Plus Ultra Safe Jump Starter, 12 volt 1000 amps. As you can see, it can charge a mobile phone. It comes with a plug, so you've got your positive and negative for the car. 1 year warranty. Smart dead batteries, safely jump start. Dead batteries on most gasoline vehicles up to 6 litres or 3 litre diesel. It's got 2 LEDs, which are 100 lumens flashlight. So yeah, the intention there is that you can have it in your car. I'll weigh it once it's out of a package, and it doesn't feel very heavy at all. As an estimation in my hand, I'd say it's probably 1 to 2 kilos. Nice packaging, just slides off like that. Noco Boost Plus, nice. It's got some padded inserts down on the box to keep it safe whilst travelling. Cardboard separator here. There's a website, no.co/support. So what do we got here? We've got the equivalent of a very large sunglass bag that you can pop the battery into. We've got the cables, which will plug into there. We've got a USB cable, and so that's a typical Android cable. We've got a cigarette lighter sort of charger that goes into the socket with USB connector. And we've got one Noco Boost GB40 user guide and warranty. So that's all that's in the box. Alright guys, so here we are in the boot of my Lancer Evolution 10, where the battery is located from factory in the back of the car, because there's not much room in the front of the car. So in my case, I've got a Odyssey PC680 MJT, which is a lightweight 7kg battery. It's a lead battery, which is what you require in order to use one of these Noco Boost GB40 Plus jump starters. And what's actually happened here is the battery has a 21-minute reserve capacity before it actually starts to die. So at that point, your headlights won't work, the car won't start, your radio won't start, and then you'll be needing to either remove the battery and charge it on a battery charger, or you can leave it in place and you can use one of these GB40 jump starters. So what I've done is the manual, the first thing you need to do is identify on the battery which is the negative and which is the positive side. If you're not sure, usually the battery will be indicated by a negative or minus symbol on the negative side, and also you might see something like this where there is a grounding cable which clearly goes from the black side onto the ground. The red side is usually indicated by a red cover, but that should not be your only choice of determining if that's a positive. Look for a plus or positive symbol where that terminal actually is. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you've got the GB40 charged up. The manual says that you can use a cigarette lighter socket that it comes in a box with, and simply hook it up for charging into this USB input port. Otherwise, you can use a phone charger. So I've got a Samsung Galaxy S10 that's got a 2 amp output, and this is rated to take 2.1 amps. So that's great, and it should take no more than 3 hours to charge. So I've done that. So to indicate the amount of charge that the GB40 has, when you hold the button down for about a second, it turns on, and when it's fully charged, this green light will be constant, and so will all of these lights. So that's 100%, 75%, 50 and 25% charge, and no lights indicates it doesn't hold any sort of charge whatsoever. So you'd want to actually charge this up. This is the first time I'm using it. I've charged it, of course, for a couple of hours. From time to time, if you leave it on your phone charger, this light may briefly flash, which just indicates that it's just doing a trickle charge. But when it's constantly charged, it will be fully green. You can then disconnect the cable for your Android phone or whatnot from here, and then you should be good to go. So when you actually come to your car, you actually want to turn the device off first, because according to the manual, you want to put the red positive jumper cable onto the positive side, then you want to put the negative onto the negative side. Then at that stage you can turn on the GB40, and to indicate that it is aware that there is a 12-volt battery that you want to charge, this light here will be illuminated as white. Now, if you've got the wrong polarity, which means if you've got the black jumper cable on the red positive side and vice versa, then when you go to turn on the Boost Plus, this exclamation mark will be illuminated to indicate that you've got the wrong polarity and you shouldn't proceed. So all you simply need to do is just swap the jumper cables over, but please don't put yourself in that situation at all in the first place anyway. So as I said, the first thing is identify which is the negative and the positive on your battery, then get the jump cables, put the positive on first and the negative on second, then turn the actual charger on. If it's got a white light here, then you're good to go. So Noco says, according to the manual, that you should not attempt to do more than 5 jump starts within a 15-minute period. And if you go to start it and it won't work, then you should wait 30 seconds before you attempt to turn the ignition on again and jump start it. If you can't get the car to start after 5 attempts, then it's a pretty good indicator that the battery's stuffed, or you may even need to just simply take the battery off, take it to a shop and get it tested by a battery expert. In this case here, if you go to hook up these jumper cables and this white light is not illuminated, then that is saying that it can't detect that there's a battery there, or that the battery has less than 2 volts that this charger is identifying, and so therefore there is a manual override function. So that is this red exclamation mark here. Now this comes with a really big warning sign in the manual, which simply says when you press this red exclamation mark and you go into override setting, there is no safety. So if you go and hook up this negative to the positive and red to negative, you'll have sparks coming out for days, and it'll be like New Year's Eve, and you're probably going to have a fire and you're not going to have a very good day. So be very cautious about the way that you hook this up before you attempt to start it. So when you put the car charger into the manual override function, because it has no safety, there is a high risk of there being a fire if you don't have the polarity right, so e.g. in a negative on a negative, positive on positive. It clearly indicates that there will be massive sparks because this unit is trying to output up to 1,000 amps. So it's really trying to give your car its last opportunity to get started. But I would say that if you can't get the car started on the normal 12 volt mode after 5 attempts, then there's something seriously wrong with your battery, or there's something wrong with your engine or spark or fuel. So it'd be a case of how long's your car been sitting before you've tried to start it, what's the quality of the fuel like, what's your tune like, or something else. If you've just started your car within the last few days, you know the car's going to be running right, and so therefore you shouldn't come across any problems. So yes, if you can't start it after 5 goes, you probably even want to have a second thought before you even go into this manual override mode. Probably at that stage you'll be saying, look, if I can't get it to start and I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere and it's going to be ages before I can get any help, if any help at all, then yes, that's the last option for you. But I probably wouldn't run that mode in my car because I'm 10 minutes from the middle of a major CBD area in Australia. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've got my key here in the car. The car knows that someone should be sitting in it and it should be ready to start. But I have got, first of all, just want to make sure that I've got my aircon set to off, that I've got my wipers set to off or manual mode, and the same thing for my headlights. Now, as you can see, I'm going to try and start the car now, and the battery's got no charge, and listen to the starter on the car. Alright, so as you can see, there's no way that the car is going to start at all. So I'm going to go to the back now. I'm going to have a look at this Noco jump starter. So as it said, make sure that this is firmly connected in here. You want to put the positive on first and then the negative on second. So I'm just going to have this sitting up here like this. I'm going to remove the positive sheath to the side. So what I've identified is that because it doesn't come with a very long length of cable, and the battery is sort of mounted in a little bit of a strange way where I can't very easily, or I should say flatly, lie this across because there's not enough cable to get to both sides. I just wanted to make sure that the cable has enough meat for it to actually grip on with these cables, these alligator clips I should say. So as you can see, I've got both sides on now, and the device is ready now to be put into the on mode. So it says to press the on button, and as you can see there, all the lights are illuminating and the white LED is on. So this means now that I should be able to start the car. So fingers crossed. I'm going to try and start it. So it's starting now. That's great. I've turned that off. Next thing I do is I take the negative off and I hang on to it. And the positive is off as well. So the device is off and the Evo is running. So I'm not going to turn the car off now because the battery needs to actually get a charge. So I'll go and drive it now for 10 or 15 minutes and we'll resume this video. Alright guys, so I was able to drive the car. It was operating perfectly. Took it for a drive for 10 to 15 minutes and now the battery is back to normal again. So I've arrived back home. I've disconnected the jumper cables from the lithium charger itself, and I just wanted to show you how much power it had in reserve. So I'm just going to hold that for a second. As you can see here, it's still at maximum charge, so how good is that? Also just wanted to show you that the device has, if you hold this button down here, two 100 lumen LEDs, which is quite bright, which is suitable if you're outside, or even if your car doesn't start and you just need to see the area where you're going to be putting the alligator clips on. Most people will just probably use the light on their mobile phone anyway. To turn it off, you just hold it down again. Also just wanted to show you the end of the unit here. So it's got these two plugs. One is the USB out if you want to charge your phone or any other USB powered device. And then again, there's the Android connection there for when you're wanting to charge the GB40 itself. So I weighed it, it's about 1 kilo. So it's decently light for you to put in your car somewhere for that rainy day, or if you're just wanting to get a quick charge on your phone and you don't have a fast charger in the cigarette socket or attached to your car radio. Alright guys, if you've got any questions, please like, comment and subscribe, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'm pretty happy with this purchase, so I would recommend people to purchase it, purely given the lightweight, the design. It worked first go exactly as the instructions said, so give it a shot. Have a great day.